Yeah, definitely better than the previous. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's save that here. And I will be right back. The car continued pushing forward through the dark abyss. I couldn't see any lights. I couldn't hear anything. Just the sound of my heartbeat echoing inside my head. The front windshield was beginning to cloud over from the humidity. The entire village was covered in a thick fog. The car's headlights could scarcely illuminate the dull gray surface of the road. I felt like I was being watched. I remained silent as it slowly came closer. When I looked down, I saw two glimmering eyes staring straight at me. It can't be! Calm down, calm down! I just need to keep looking forward. Forward? Even though I don't know my destination? Creak, creak, creak. A sharp sound rang out like nails scraping long glass as the car suddenly came to a halt. I unhooked my seatbelt and stepped outside. Then I looked out in the direction of the headlights. You died. Now, a pool of stagnant water. The swamp in front of me looked bottomless. I let out a brief cry and immediately fled the area. When I turned to look back, the car was already gone. This is probably a dream sequence. Beyond it, nothing but darkness. A warm breeze blew across the back of my neck. As I stumbled forward, I found a fork in the road. I had to choose. Advance forward. Make a decision. Choose. Advance. Decide. Choose. Advance. Decide. Choose. Advance. Decide. One of us. One of us.
Maibara-san.
Yep. A sudden voice caught me off guard.
大丈夫ですか?
It would have been interesting if it had brought out that eyes background, huh?
随分うなされていましたよ。
Ire was in the driver's seat, anxiously examining my face. Then I remembered. I was still in Ire's car on the way home after dropping Shion off in Okonomiya. Before I knew it, I must have fallen asleep. A nightmare, huh? Am I really awake? Doesn't feel like it. My body still doesn't feel as lively as usual. As I lifted the sheet from my body, my back was drenched in sweat. Looking out the window, we'd already passed through town and were about to reach Hinamizawa.
すいません。ちょっと疲れただけで。
Maybe. I don't know, I think they've used that background a few times. For driving through Okonomiya.
無理もないですね。さっきは大変でしたから。
I recalled the words that Shion cried out. That doesn't help anyone. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. Satoshi Hojo. The name echoed through my mind like an incantation. Spells, curses, none of that mattered at this point. I'd gladly sacrifice myself in order to help Satoko.
監督。サトシってどんなやつだったんですか?
Ire furrowed his brow for a moment after hearing that. Then after a brief sigh, he spoke softly.
サトシ君が家出してしまったことは話しましたよね。以前に監督から。ただサトシの話題になるとみんなはごまかすから。そうですね。この村の人にとっては少し因縁めいたところがあるのでしょう。本当に家出なんですか? それはどういう意味ですか?
Ire gave me a piercing glance as I asked that.
いや、そんな気がして。まさかお社様のたたりとでも。よくわかんないです。
Ire lightly raised the corner of his lip. Was he laughing? It was hard to tell.
監督は信じてるんですか？そのお社様のたたりを。
私は一応科学に準ずる職業についていますからね。でもこの村に来て少しだけ超自然的存在を身近に感じてきました。おや、霧が出てきましたね。
Ire cut off the conversation to turn on the wipers. They drew a milky white semicircle along the front windshield. Floating on, wiping off, floating on, wiping off, floating on, wiping off, wax on, wax off. That cycle repeated indefinitely. The sound constantly repeated at regular intervals, like the second hand on a clock, and the periodic rhythm was getting on my nerves. Indeed, that sound was a constant reminder that I was on the time limit. The time to make a decision was rapidly approaching. Even if I ran away, it would follow me. I felt like I was lost in an endless maze, and suddenly I began to shiver.
話が脱線してしまいましたが、サトシ君の話はシオンさんに聞いた方がいいかもしれません。
え？
私よりシオンさんの方がよくご存知だと思います。
シオンが？
Iri gave me a gentle look as he nodded.
シオンさんとサトシ君はとても仲が良かった。ある意味、そうですね。お互いを大切に思い合う関係。だからこそ妹のサトコちゃんに対しての思い入れもきっと強いんでしょう。
So in this what-if scenario, she's actually holding up her end of the bargain she made with Satoshi. Shion and Satoshi were... So as far as Shion was concerned, Satoko was her beloved's partner, one and only little sister. Then, was that why she was trying so desperately hard to help Satoko? There did seem to be some connection between Satoko and Shion. Despite being a member of the Sonozaki family, her attitude towards Satoko's predicament was clearly different from Mion's. Was your heart being squeezed by thoughts of Satoshi-kun as you shouted at Shion? Am I just an outsider here? Yes. I couldn't shake off a nagging feeling of jealousy. Shion and Satoko were both deeply tied to Satoshi, and there was no place for me in that circle. But Satoshi is the one who ran away from home and abandoned Satoko. I should just forget about a coward like that. Satoshi isn't here anymore. But I am. Me. I'm here. Shion's grief-stricken scream crawled into my ears again, and it wouldn't go away. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. But he's already gone. Shion, stop saying that. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. That bastard abandoned both you and Satoko, right? He threw you away. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. 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 Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Something like that, maybe. Those words repeated over and over, like an incantation.
Tadaima.
As I muttered that, I immediately made my way up to the second floor.
おかえりなさい。ちょっとケイイチ、もうご飯よ。あらやだ、どうしたの？暗い顔しちゃって。
I heard my mother's harsh, thoughtless voice coming from behind my back. I want to be left alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. After violently slamming the door, I didn't bother turning on the light, and dropped down into my futon right where it was. The tension finally began to die down. I felt the strength draining from my body. I don't want to think about anything anymore. I rolled over and pulled the blanket out from underneath me. Suddenly, I felt pain coursing through my fingertips. Is this blood? I strained my eyes to look more closely in the dark. My nails were covered in dry blood and it was getting all over the bed. Tepe stomped on my fingernails when I was down on the floor. I guess it was a powerful attack. When I closed my eyes, an image of Satoko, steadfastly refusing my help, floated in front of me. It's frustrating, but what can I do? I gave up and ran away today, didn't I? Will my struggling only cause Satoko even more pain? I slammed my fist into the wall as I cursed at my surroundings. Everything felt hollow. I didn't care anymore. An endless feeling of helplessness overwhelmed me. A restlessness nagged at me. A sense of danger caught up to me. I clung to what little self-respect I had left. And then I arrived at my destination. Despair. Monokuma approved. I noticed a shadow lurking in the darkness. Yeah, the splatter sound was way too big for just discovering dried blood on your fingers from an earlier stomp, you know? It felt like someone was staring at me. It was just my imagination, of course, but I couldn't laugh it off right now. I pulled the blanket over my head, curled it around my body, and closed my eyes. I wanted to forget everything and fall asleep. I began to doubt my ears after suddenly hearing a strange sound, and I faintly called out to it. Grating laughter echoed through the area. I thrust the blanket away and vigorously got up. I heard a creak as I made my way over to the door. The bright lights in the hallway blinded me.
Keiichi? 何よ、大声出して。
When I opened my eyes a crack, I noticed my mother standing in front of me with a concerned expression.
なんだ、母さんか。
I suddenly began to feel exhausted. What was I getting so nervous about?
あら、もう寝てたの？ご飯の時間だっていうのに、まったく。神気臭い顔しちゃって。せっかくいい顔に産んであげたんだから、シャキッとしなさい。
うるさいな。食欲ないんだからもうほっといてよ。
バカねあんたは。食欲ない時にこそ食べるのよ。
You know, that's not exactly sound advice. If you're not hungry, don't eat.
人間ご飯食べてりゃとりあえず死なないんだから。
Even though you do have a point, he does act like he's gonna die if he misses, second breakfast.
心が消耗してる時はせめて体がしっかり力をつけて引っ張ってあげるの。落ち込んでる時はいつもの2倍は食べなきゃダメよ。
I don't think that's how it works.
3度のご飯を美味しくいただく。これが体も心も健康に保つ秘訣なんだから。
Eat the pain away.
お母さんで実証済み。
By who? Mom insisted on her folk remedies and turned on the lights and opened the window. As I watched her from behind, I thought to myself that she was a really hard-working mother. Indeed, there was no greater love than smiling and chatting together as a family. It's such a minor thing, but when it happens every day, it really adds up. I always believed these days would last forever. Satoko probably thought the same thing until 3 years ago. It's like suddenly falling into a trap, where your everyday life begins to collapse. And it could happen to me too.
わかったから。はい、ごめん。じゃあおやすみ。
I wrapped myself in the blanket again to stave off Mom's interference.
何言ってるの？起きなさい。
Yeah, if you are depressed, this is not the greatest of advice.
レナちゃんが来てるのよ。
Rena. When I made my way to the entrance, I found Rena quietly standing there.
レナ、こんな時間にどうしたんだ？
ちょっと。
何かあったのか？
Rena bit her lip instead of answering my question.
レナ、
血。
Blood. Yeah, well, you know, Rena was staring at the blood on the tip of my fingers. Yeah, I never washed them off. They're still covered in blood. Then before I had a chance to say something, Rena muttered to herself.
あいつの血も赤いのかな。
Oh, good. This is exactly when we need creepy Rena. I suddenly began to tremble. I felt like Rena's eyes lit up in red for a moment.
レナちゃん悪いわね。こんなにたくさんお裾分けしてもらって。
Mom came over to the entryway holding several large boxes.
煮物たくさん作りすぎちゃったんです。いっぱい食べてください。
There aren't needles in it, are there?
塩分控えめですから。はう。
Are they lightly salted with needles? That seems to be a thing that I really don't want to happen again. Just saying. Rena quickly changed her expression to show Mom her usual smile.
そうそう。前にいただいたコロッケ。
So do I.
本当美味しかったわ。本当ですか？よかった。はう。
That face does not match that cheerfulness.
うちの人ったら20個ペロリと平らげちゃったのよ。そんなに喜んでくれたら
That
と
one
っても
does.
嬉しいです。
Rena's usual smile as she made small talk was bright enough to make flowers bloom. But was I mistaken about the Rena I saw a moment ago?
それじゃあレナはそろそろ帰りますね。
Rena said that to bring the conversation to a close, but she flashed me a sharp glare as she said it. It was like an unspoken agreement.
母さん、俺レナを送ってくるよ。
そうね、夜も遅いし。それじゃあレナちゃんまたね。気をつけてね。おやすみなさい、おばさま。
And we're dead now. Rena stepped out the front door without waiting for me to tie my shoes. After I finished putting my shoes on, I turned to Mom.
あのさ、
どうしたのケイチ？
あんまうまく言えないけどさ、今まで飯とか作ってくれてありがとな。それじゃあ行ってきます。
And now he's gonna die.
え？ちょっと突然何なの？明日お嫁に行く花嫁みたいなこと言っちゃって。レナちゃんとこに婿入り？
God, I hope not.
ああ、もううるさい。
Feeling overwhelmed with embarrassment, I avoided making eye contact with Mom as I jumped out the front door. Mom was tilting her head to the side in confusion, but I couldn't help but speak up. I wanted to thank her earnestly for her role in my peaceful everyday life, so I thought it would be good to say something. I began walking swiftly to catch up with Rena. She was far ahead of me, but the distance between us gradually diminished. Rena looked straight ahead, pushing herself through the darkness like I wasn't even there. A light emerged from the darkness ahead. A street light illuminated the road. I noticed a swarm of moths gathering around the street light. Scrape, scrape. I heard the moths' wings getting burned as they touched the fluorescent light over and over. We reached a fork in the road. Rena turned and started walking in the wrong direction without a moment of hesitation.
おい、レナの家は逆だろ？おいって。
Rena remained silent and continued at her current pace. Was there something in this direction? I had no choice but to follow Rena. Finally, we arrived at our destination, the mountain of garbage at the dam construction site. The area off in the darkness was packed with garbage dumped here illegally, and a disquieting atmosphere began to drift in. Yeah, we're gonna dig up Colonel Sanders, aren't we? After all, the corpse from that murder 5 years ago was found here. Even in the daytime, being here ran a chill down my spine. So being here alone with Rena right now was, honestly, quite terrifying. Rena advanced into the garbage mountain without hesitation, leaving me behind.
ちょっと待てよレナ。暗いから危ないって。怪我するぞ。
Rena clenched her teeth and pushed ahead as if my words didn't reach her ears at all. Rena climbed over a huge industrial refrigerator and disappeared on the other side of the mountain.
おいレナ。
My voice echoed vainly in the otherwise silent area. It was total silence. The surrounding area was bathed in a murky darkness.
返事くらいしろよ。レナ。
But Rena didn't respond. Just some rustling. Something stirred inside the mountain of garbage. A chill suddenly ran through me. Starting to feel lost, I chased after Rena. I did my best to follow in the direction Rena went, but it was so steep that I had my doubts I'd be able to climb it. Rena must be hiding incredible strength in that slender body of hers. Though I was out of breath, I somehow finished climbing to the top of the garbage mountain. Standing at the top, I could see a faint light. It seemed to be coming from a station wagon buried deep in the scrap.
レナ、そこにいるのか？
As I approached the station wagon, I cautiously looked in through the sliding door window. Despite its crude appearance, the interior of the station wagon was neatly organized. It was decorated with cushions Rena would find cute, and there was a stuffed toy on display. I heard a faint sound just outside my line of sight and turned to find a huge-eyed hamster in a small basket. Is this Rena's secret hideout?
レナ、いるんだろ？入るぞ。
I pulled the sliding door open and found Rena sitting on a mattress in the back. Her eyes were open wide, gazing at the ceiling.
レナ、俺に話があるんだろ？だったら話してくれよ。聞かせてほしい。
Rena slowly turned in my direction.
ここはね、レナの隠れ家なの。辛い時とか悲しい時、寂しい時にここに来るの。
You know, I fully expected it to do something along the lines of Rena turned slowly towards me and with a vacant expression opened her mouth and went, I fully expected that. Just to let you know.
だってここには誰も来ないから。誰もいなければひどいことされたり嫌なこと言われたりすることもないでしょ。
Cynical but fair.
一人でいると安心なんだ。
そんなことを言うなよ。俺たちがいるじゃないか。俺たち仲間同士だろ。辛い時は頼っていいんだからな。
圭一くん、ドラマの主人公みたいなセリフ言うんだね。安っぽいよ。
Hey, Rena's being harsh.
圭一くん、いつもさとこちゃんは仲間だって言ってるよね。よね。なのにさとこちゃんは一人ぼっちでどん底にいる。圭一くんは幸せな家庭の人だもんね。だからきっとわからないんだよ。失うことの痛みを。
Did you plan to make us lose our family with that dinner? I'm just curious. Rip. Oh, that's a little different than rip. Rena grabbed her hair and tugged at it with every ounce of strength in her body. An entire bundle of hair came out and fell to the ground.
とっても痛いんだよ。 よ。
And stop doing it. There was nothing I could say to her. She hit the nail on the head. Even though we were friends, that meant nothing for Satoko right now. I felt ashamed for myself for speaking so passionately about friendship. Arguments and lip service were simply not enough to change reality. I felt frustrated by how helpless and cowardly I was. But at the same time, I felt like I was being crushed by my fear and anxiety. Rustle, rustle, rustle. I heard the sound of the trash falling apart. A towering mountain built from a mass of human desires. It almost sounded like a scream from someone under attack.
Rena, 俺さ
Rena's eyes were wide open and filled with tears. The tears slowly dribbled down her cheeks, then dripped to the ground below.
Rena,
I looked more closely at Rena's vacant expression. Then she quietly stared into my eyes. Rena took a deep breath to collect herself.
圭一くん。レナね。
I nodded while looking at Rena directly in the eyes.
レナね。もう圭一くんとはお別れしなきゃならないの。
Huh? Goodbye?
もう二度と会えなくなるから。レナは圭一くんの前から消えてしまうから。さようなら。それだけはちゃんと言いたかったんだ。
Farewell?
レナ、何言ってんだよ。さよならってなんだよ。急にそんなこと言われても。
レナもお別れは悲しい。けどね、さよならなの。
待てよ。一体何があったんだよ。なんで何も言ってくれないんだよ。どうして一人で抱え込むんだよ。
Feeling restless, I grabbed Rena by the shoulders at full strength. Rena looked up at the ceiling without changing her expression.
さよならなんて言うなよ。さよならなんて。
My throat was tightening and tears were beginning to leak out. I was about to suffocate. I couldn't bear it any longer, so I fell down onto Rena. Rena gently stroked my hair like a baby. Then she whispered softly in my ear.
私、鉄平を殺すね。
I was joking earlier! Thank you, game. Thanks for that, game. I was joking earlier when I said that. Don't...